Welcome back, College COD fans, as we get ready for our very last series of the night. We're going to have two teams going up against each other here in the Midwest here yet again. Panthers up against the Cougars. So this is going to be a very big one here for us. Again, pretty much the whole storyline we've talked about the whole night here for us is how good you're going to be heading in towards playoffs. And, well, the main thing, getting yourself in towards playoffs. And, well, of course, my name is Vision. Joined with me, Spiral. Spiral, what are your thoughts coming in towards our last matchup here on the night?
Yep, just like you said, Visions, both these teams are going to be looking to cement themselves into playoffs going into the last few weeks of the season. Looks like the Panthers doing pretty well for themselves as they're, I believe, in either the seventh or eighth in their division currently. The Cougars, though, they're going to be sitting at that 11th spot.
Yeah.
So every win for them is going to be worthwhile, and they're going to have to pull out all the stops in the next few weeks to hopefully find the wins that they need to just kind of put them forward a couple spots, get in that top eight.
Very crucial that they do that. And we kind of got to take a look at some of the matches they have coming up. The only really tough one from here on out is Liberty Red, but they pretty much play all of these kind of lower to middle of the pack teams for the most part. So they are very much on track here for trying to get them the best seed as possible. We're going to take a look at the teams and the lineups that we have coming in here for, starting with the Panthers here, University of Northern Iowa, who are sitting 8-4 and 7th in this Midwest division. We're going to have Dorno, we're going to have Stunner, Mello, Jimbot, and Vines.
Yeah, pretty decent team. Very good. Usually at their hard point, you got the Ks all across the board. 1.2s, 1.1s going along. Jimbot though sitting on a 0.8 and 7, but about a minute 15 hill time. So I'm excited to see him hopefully get some good objective play for his team going into that first, and if we need it, at the fourth map.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the other lineup here for the Southern Illinois, University-Edwardsville, known as the Cougars here for us. We're going to have Plasmid, Cages, Burt, Baseball, Matt, and Elberts. This is the team that is probably the underdogs, I would say, for sure, coming in towards this one here at 4 and 7, and like you mentioned, 11th at the moment for us. So this is where we have to see what they've put together, heading up against a team that is fairly highly ranked here in this Midwest division. So very important that they're going to have the preparation to come out and show us what they're capable of doing here on stream. But we'll take a look at the maps now for as far as the lineup that we have. I believe a little bit of a different rotation, at least off the bat. We're actually going to see Ramaza, which I have not seen, I don't think, in a little over a month, or at least casted over it. So I'm very excited to jump in towards this one. Then we'll have a Gunrunner Search and Destroy, Gunrunner Domination, and then if needed for a map 4 and a map 5, it will be Nazir Cave Hardpoint and an Arklov Peak Search and Destroy.
You know, interestingly enough, this is a map set that I actually think in a way favors the Cougars a little bit more than the Panther. The scoreline currently in terms of Search and Destroy for the Panthers actually played Arklov Peak 8-0 as of right now, and they've only played Gunrunner once, and that game has actually been a loss on their point. On the other side, for the Cougars, they played Gunrunner 3-1 favor of them for right now. So going into that second Search and Destroy, that's going to be the map that we're going to have to see Cougars try to take out all the stops if they want any chance of pushing that into that second hardpoint and that fifth Search and Destroy.
And you start talking about some of the KDs heading in towards our series here for us. You mentioned a lot of great stat lines pretty much across the board here for the side of the Panthers. You look at the Cougars, though, however, and you don't have that same stat line. You got some, 0.65s in there, some 0.7s. The only real highlight one here is Plasmid, 1.62. This man gets quite a bit of work done. His domination KD is also right up there, 1.67. Search and Destroy, 1.7. Like, in every game, this man has a 1.6 or higher. That is something to certainly highlight heading in towards the series here for us, because if there is somebody that's going to be able to carry his team to a victory, it's going to be Plasmid.
Definitely. And unfortunately, I mean, as much as we can talk about Plasmid, once you get into these games, and especially going into the later parts of the season, you really need the rest of your team to start picking up and basically just kind of helping you out to try and finish the game off strong. But hopping into Ramaza hardpoint, starting to get on the way. Gemma's going to be first touch on that hill, but still they're going to start to come in over the side of the Cougars. Looks like they're going to get first touch on that first hardpoint.
Northern Iowa shut down on the initial push here. This great control is going to be good right now for SIUE Esports, but they're not going to be able to hold on very long, as this is going to be a big gunfight. Stunner wins that one, taken down from Plasmid now, who's has himself 3 in a row. He's got his work cut out for him, though. Finds another one. We highlighted this player, and it was for a reason. This man is able to get the work done. He wins those crucial, important gunfights as 5 members actually fall here for Northern Iowa. So they're going to have a little bit of a rough spot as they have to still either fight for the scrap time or get ready to go for rotation. I believe Plasmid finally dies on the streak as he is going to get stuck with his Semtex. But this is still great right now if you're SIUE, because you pick up a good amount of times on that first hill that's kind of actually difficult to grab time on, and now you're in position to collect time for P2.
Yeah, like you mentioned as well, we talked about Plasmid starting out the match, and he went huge. He was definitely the player that I think actually gave the Cougars the ability to push into this second hill and get that initial control to start things off. He's going to be up just a little bit, 24 to 20 for the time being, but he was definitely the player that allowed them to start to push in and get the hold coming on. But now you can see the push start to come in from Iowa. 4 going to go down, though, and the hold is going to be good for them. The baseball mat on your screen right now, he's on a 5 streak, doing everything down to hold this door, stop any pushes from coming through. 30 seconds now left on this hill, and they're going to start to make this push. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh.
This is the awkward spot though right now if you're Northern Iowa, because if you hit this hill, then you have to, full on commit and kind of give up the early rotation here for yourself. We see Mello who actually jumps over and ends up getting shot down in the back here. So they make the push around 30 seconds and they pay for it because they're not able to get themselves the hill time. Now they do have the early setup, and Vines has found a couple on rotation coming off of that P2 hill for it. So as we move across the map here, literally across the entire map to the opposite side, it's very important to get into the power positions like you can see. This member, oh my God, Stunner actually just absolutely obliterates him. I don't know how you do that to Plasmid on that egg glitch right there. I'm literally speechless watching that over. That is big, and now we're finally seeing a bit of purple highlight in towards our kill feed.
That was not what we wanted to see on screen. Hopefully when they go back in the VODs, he's not too embarrassed by that. Looking forward, though, we can see this start to come in for Southern Illinois, but Jumbout's going to be able to find 2. Vines with the 3rd. A couple are going to go down. He's going to be able to find this player creeping in. He's going to be able to take that player down as well. Tried to get the turn. Not going to be able to stop that one, though. Now, scrap time is going to go, possibly not, actually, over to the side. Back over towards Northern Iowa with 4 going down. To the side of Illinois with a pistol. Dorno taken down. The rest of the players not able to find the last one, though. Able to get the multi-kill, but that allowed the rotation to start to come in. Where you can see the pop over on the construction site for Northern Iowa. Initial control is going to be good. Dorno here with such a good position to cut down 1 player. Is going to be up to drop down, though. Able to find the 2nd as well. He's just down here. Can't find the 3rd. That's unfortunate for him, but it looks like the hold is strong for right now. But SIUE starting to push in.
They're starting to push in, but there was something crucial that happened on the last hill that we missed. They were able to actually flip the spawns out. They hold the majority of that time, and that's what enables them to spawn at the old hill as they set up the early rotation. And now you can see it. Darno's able to get himself to a power position where he's just cutting down these submachine guns and getting in towards the hill. They're able to get this construction site pretty much unlocked for themselves, and now Northern Iowa has netted themselves a very comfortable lead heading in towards these last few rotations, as we're going to yet again move right across the map here over to Tunnel, or what I like to call Ruins, and this is going to be very crucial here for the side of SIUE to be able to try and find the break, and they have set up at least 3 of these kills going down. They're on the half wall, but the spawns are very close in the back for Ruins here. This is what makes it very difficult, because you have to maintain control of the head glitch in front of the hill. Plasmid is looking to do exactly that, as the time is contested back and forth here, but Jimbot Vines going to get some work done.
Like you said, the spawns are coming in, and the spawns are so close, especially on this hill as well. I wanted to take a look over at the scoreboards and foremost, just to start this off as well. We can see highlighting Plasmid, the player that we did in the beginning, is 19-5 currently, Visions. Looking across to the rest of his team, we have the only player that's we'd say even remotely close is Bert with 12-9, and that is just, from the rest of your team, that is not what you want to see, especially this far deep into the season, and especially this far deep into your hard point. All the time has now gone over to the side of Northern Iowa. It looks like they are set up to start the control for the second rotation of hills, but we're going to have to see if it's enough. 141-85 is going to be the scoreline for right now, and it's not looking great. Like we said, though, they are going to have spawns. You can see actually on your mini-map towards the bottom left, there is going to be a player there already set up for that second hill, so hopefully coming out of this hill, if they're not able to get a lot of time on that, they're going to start to mount a comeback moving forward.
Finds a good kill underneath the bridge there, and that's what kind of enables him to get control of this construction area. So they've dealt with a few nice shots again. He's got the wall bangs on point on this P1 hill, and now he's going to look to cut through Plasmid, who is 20-5 here, or 22-6 rather, as he's now going to be taken down. So this is going to be great here for SIUE. They're going to still be soaking up the majority of his time, but the major factor is that they have flipped the spawns. That player in the back there, Dorno and Mello, the AR players are now slaying out, stopping these players from getting into position where they're going to be able to hold time on towards our second kill on the reset of the hard point. Mello needs to stay alive. He did find one a bit earlier, but he's going to be cut down from Plasmid in the back, who looks to now take this positioning and try to cut the members that are running and rushing into the rotation. 60-point lead is going to be what's built up right now for Northern Iowa. The shots are good for Plasmid. He is finding double kill after double kill here. Who dares to challenge him next? We're going to see if Vines tries to make the push here as he slowly works down. They look for the double challenge, but Cages has dealt with one. This player pops out, and Plasmid is still staying alive on a 5-3, 27-6.
Plasmid's doing everything on the map. That's all. That's really all you can say. He flipped the spawns. He's getting the kills. He's making the pushes. He's doing everything in his power to get his team into this hard point. But all of that seems to be for naught. Once again, it's Northern Iowa in on the hill, and they're starting to spawn out. Kills are going to go to the side of SIUE though, so they are going to be able to get, looks like the last 19 seconds, because a couple of those players on Northern Iowa are going to start to rotate around and possibly over to this next hardpoint over on the other side of the map. You can see Plasmid just over here once again looking for more victims. Who can he find? 30-6 now for Plasmid on the losing team as well. Not something that we usually see, especially in hardpoints such a slay heavy game mode. Moving forward though, now Northern Iowa 186 onto this hardpoint, and they are in a position to make such a commanding lead going into the rest of this game. But the kills are going to be traded on either side. Though we have Plasmid once again dropping off top middle. 3 are going to go down for the side of Northern Iowa, and he's going to start to run in with this MP5 dead for the side of Northern Iowa. That one player though, that's going to be Gemma, is going to take that last player down as Plasmid, and unfortunately though, not going to be able to go a little bit farther in their way, and that I think was just such a misplay for the side of SIUE. Baseball Matt though on the hill gets the kills. He's gonna be able to hold the scrap time as well.
207 to 159, and this 10 seconds are going to be going over, so that's going to cut the lead down a bit. But Northern Iowa in a position where they can win off of this construction hill. You can see it. They have made their early rotation. They know this. This player 8 needs to stay alive. Matt needs to not push this right now. Dorno though has ran out and challenged him, so Matt just needs to play his life. Wait for your teammates to come up with you, and then make the designated push to try and get in towards the hill. Thunder's in a great spot to find one. He's got one close left here. Can he find it? He snaps right on his dome. Takes him out, but he's unable to deal with the player that comes from outskirts. This is still maintaining control for the moment until SIU were able to break in. So they only got about 15 seconds or so. Now Cage just looks to try and hold on. He has some backup and some reinforcements. Here comes the push from Northern Iowa that have the favorable spawns in towards the back. Cage drops a nade and ends up taking himself down one. Vines responds with one onto Elbert, but the time is being soaked up. SIUE, they're grabbing all the hill time. The contention though is going to be pinched. They can't win off of it. That's the most important factor, as they are going to put themselves in a great favorable position to close the map out, but they're going to have to win the rotations and they're going to have to break the setup.
That was perfect stuff. That was a fantastic break for the side of the SIUE. They were able to get those kills, get their spawns, and unfortunately they weren't able to have Plasmid go off like he did last time. But the good thing is that they didn't need it, because now they were able to find those early rotations over onto this Ruins hardpoint. Like you said, the points are starting to be soaked up. Kills starting to go over to the side of Northern Iowa. There's not able to finish that kill as well. So now Northern Iowa breaks in 145 to 205. The spawns, they might have time for one small push. They're able to get the kills, but it doesn't look like they are. Northern Iowa able to take that win 250 to 205, and SIUE able to keep it relatively close for a little bit of time. But now it was this man Plasmid on your screen with the play of the game. He's just doing everything in his power for
Look at
SIU
it.
to try and get in, but
36 and 11, and it's not even like he was just playing for KD. Like, he had 37 seconds on towards the hill here, had 4 defense. He did have his teammate that was playing some of that great hill time there. Cages is the one that doesn't put up the KD stats, but definitely gets a lot of work done in towards the actual hard point itself here. You look on the opposite end, 33 for Dorno, the AR player that's trying to match what Plasmid was doing for his team. Vines up close here with 26, gets a lot done, but 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Dents is highlighting it. Jimbot is literally the bot that just sits in the hill. 8 defends. 8 out of his 13 kills are defends. That just shows how many of his teammates are just slaying outside of the hill and just allowing him to soak up this time. But when those key gunfights come through and they go for the challenges and they go for the break, he's winning the majority of those. So 8 defense on over 3 minutes of hill time. That is absolutely exceptional hardpoint gameplay here for us for map number 1.
yeah, it's one of those things as well, especially when you highlight the points from Jim. You almost kind of feel bad for the rest of them not being able to make anything else happen for the rest of it. But yeah, some really amazing play over there for Northern Iowa. They're able to come in strong, shut down a couple of the very key positions, even being able to shut down Plasmid, who we highlighted for the beginning of the game, highlighted throughout the rest of the game as well. He was getting the kills, he was getting the spawns, he was holding it down. He was even switching in between his MP5 and his M4 for I think that second to last construction hill as well. He's doing everything on the map, and unfortunately, he just doesn't have the players behind him holding down those spawns like like the likes of Jimbot or any of the other players on the side of Northern Iowa.
And University of Northern Iowa here, Hardpoint's not the strongest game mode here. It's search and destroy. They have a phenomenal search and destroy record heading in towards this next game mode that, of course, we're about to pull up on your screen here for you to take a look at the maps. But they are absolutely exceptional here, Spiral. They were 11-2. This team just dominates this game mode. And when you're going in towards a search and destroy on Gunrunner that is very much dictated off of the submachine gun positioning, getting in towards those close quarter areas, clutching up, it is just so exceptional for as far as being able to take control when you're able to dictate your presence and the tempo very early on in those first couple rounds. So this is looking very much on track for the Panthers to be able to pull out a 2-0 here for us off the start of the series. But if there was a time to try to respond, it would definitely be now. Being able to do your homework on a map like Gunrunner is very much doable because we see it so much. This is probably the map that is most played in general here throughout competitive Call of Duty, not just in the CCL. So you have a lot of time to look over that map, watch what the pros are doing, watch what the search and destroy players that are playing this playing search and destroy all the time. There is so much content available to be able to kind of dissect and break this down and figure out how you want to play it. But overall, it's very much not in their favor, but they have the opportunity still to maybe find some success.
Yeah, definitely, and especially touching on Gunrunner once again for Northern Iowa, their map that they prefer to play a lot more on Search and Destroy is usually Arklov Peak, where they're actually 8-0 throughout the season for right now. The only time they've actually played on Gunrunner currently has been a loss. On the other side, though, for SIUE, they're currently 3-1 on Gunrunner as well. Once again, highlighting again that player Plasmid with a 1.7 KD in this game mode as well. So he's once again going to be the star player that we're going to expecting to see try and push his team into the victory here. And this is the map. This is the map that I think favors them the most, but definitely is the chance for them to come back in the series and push that at least over to a map 4. But to do that, you can't rely on just Plasmid. You're going to have to rely on the rest of your team to get going as well.
And while Bomb is down, Vines and Stunner have responded with a couple after the first blood was good there for SIUE, but Burt finds one, immediately dips back and just plays for his life as it's the side of Northern Iowa that are on the clock. Jimbot slowly pushes up. Burt has now found 2. The trade is going to be on towards Cages, but Burt and Plasmid still alive. These are the AR players. They get so much work done. Jimbot and Mello, they're going to have to push. Now it's all up to Mello. Hasn't gotten to any interactions thus far here for us. He's got limited time. Plasmid is just on another level. Doesn't even give him an opportunity to get his gun up really in time. And that will be a couple from him as they're going to close out this very first round.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play to start things off from SIU. You see they run in, they get that bomb down first, and they you have your AR players watching over by the crate, just being able to cut down anyone who comes in their way. You even have the players like Burt and there was one other player that I didn't catch the name of at the time, but all of them starting to be able to cut off the crosses. Burt was able to get 2 on the rotation from Northern Iowa, so just all around fantastic plays from them starting off this match to be able to go up 1-0 on the board, and it looks like from the offense side again with Stunner starting things off. Going to be 2 kills now over for the side of Northern Iowa with that bomb going down as well. It's going to be a post-plant retake early to start things off for SIUE.
Or no, he's gonna find 3 in a row. This man is gonna even almost go for the ace. It looks like actually it's gonna be someone that ends up finding that other member. And Bert's like, nope, I'm not even gonna attempt this one, as it was probably not very likely that he would ever clutch up in this round here. So Dorno, he's the one that responds. No one even really gets a bullet onto him or tags him up. He just pretty much rocks all 3 of those players, and that's just a very fast round that's responded with here for the Northern Iowa squad.
Was it a 15-second round? 20-second round? Something like that.
Like
Dorno runs in, gets 3, last player kills himself. It's like, okay, you don't need it. We're worth it. We're comfortable with that. But now on your screen, we have Stunner running in with that MP5 once again. Moving down this little area, we like to see players rotate through that vent. Unfortunately, he's not going to find anyone for right now. Both teams electing to seemingly play this a little bit low to start things off.
We'll see the bomb go down here. Cages has got control of his top area as Mello has taken down Burt. Cages can find 2 when he does. Vines doesn't get a chance to respond in that gunfight. So this is a lot of control built up for SIUE. And now the retake needs to come only from Stunner and Jimbots. And Stunner does find Albert, so that's going to make things a little bit easier and a lot more doable. But Matt, it's going to put a stop to that immediately as I say it. Finds 1. Stunner now finds a couple, but has to get through Cages and Plasmid. These are 2 members that aren't going to be the easiest, especially Plasmid, who's just playing his life in the back here. He's going to make the push up. I don't know if he saw him up top as he snap on him. Cages doesn't even want to deal with the gunfight there, but he still has to just play the clock. Plasmid now lands the bullet. So despite Cages having a little bit of a fumble on that one there for a spiral, I mean, Plasmid's still playing his life, playing the back, and they're going to at very least still clutch out and get this round for themselves.
That was actually a fantastic play for the side of SIUE on that one as well. Unfortunately, like you said, Cages not able to find that first kill, but luckily Plasma with the AR in the back knows, like, well, all I have to do, sit here, bomb's planted for me. He's going to run in, and in true Plasmid fashion, he's going to be able to put that away. And SIUE going up 2-1 in the search and destroy currently.
And this game is 3-1. In this game mode, or rather in this map, in this game mode, they're 6-5. Vines, though. We've seen the sniper play come out occasionally on Gunrunner, back forest area there by the warehouse, or that spawn where you are just able to find those players that go top crates. Mello has found 1. Plasmid not in the best of spots, but still wins his gunfight here. So this is now going to encounter another one. He's going to bait out perfectly. He bounces back. His movement is just on such another level as he's going to be able to pick up 2, and then the snipe comes through for Vines. So a 2v2 here. The flank from Stunner needs to find this kill, and now it's all up to 1. Matt finds it, and this will be the sniper versus Matt with 45 seconds on the clock.
Such an important play for Plasmid and baseball. Matt, you can see luckily he's able to get that kills, electing to dip away. Bomb is going to be down though, right next to B as well. So you have Vines just trying to see if he can grab it. Yes, he is able to get in, jump out. Now he's going to elect to get that bomb down. He might be able to find him there. He's not trailing. He's not watching. He is going to be able to find it right when it goes down. The shots aren't going to be able to land though. He's going to try to that's going to be unfortunate.
He's panicking.
Vines is able to get away. Like you said, though, a little bit of panic seems to be coming in. Matt trying to find him, but with the sniper, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get that down fast enough. Matt's a little bit of panic, like you mentioned, visions for just a moment, but he's almost really lucky that Vines was the player with that sniper, because if he wasn't, that round could have gone a lot differently.
Well, even if we see this player just completely back away, like if Vines just takes the 50-50, says, listen, he threw a smoke, but I don't think he's diffusing. And I mean, it's always difficult in that scenario to actually, try and take that 50-50, but either way, you already know that Matt's feeling a little bit nervous coming off of those gunfights. So maybe you just think, listen, I do not want to take this 1v1 against Vines. I'm just going to hop on the bomb and kind of just pray that I get it. Doesn't end up working out in that favor there for him, but now a 2-round lead built up for SIUE. They're able to start to get some momentum going here in towards our search and destroy Gunrunner, but that will be put to a stop in this round number 4 as 2 kills have already dropped here for the side of SIU.
Yeah, we mentioned as well how important the search and destroy is for the side of SIUE going into the rest of the game, and they are playing it well. Unfortunately, this round though, 4v2 in favor of Northern Iowa. We have Dorno with the SMG just holding that down. Plasma with the AR, though, is going to be able to pick up that kill, and you can see him looking around for anyone who might be in his vicinity that he's going to be able to cut down, and all the players now for Northern Iowa are going to be holding around that B bomb site. This is going to be a very difficult retake for baseball Matt and Plasmid. You can see them trying to get in a good position. Plasmid is going to be cut down by Dorno, and it's Matt in a 1v4. Now a 1v2. Not able to find anything, though. Northern Iowa starting to close the gap just a little bit.
Big response. You don't want to go down 4-1 here on a gun runner where things just kind of get out of control so quickly, even in this game mode itself. So that's a very nice trade kill that ends up coming through there from the washrooms. That's going to cut the lead down to 1, and we're going to switch sides, seeing exactly what Northern Iowa are going to plan to attack here. We actually got to see a lot at a Shoney. The event is showing there. I don't know if you got a chance to catch any of it there, Spyro, but just seeing IES 2020 and how these teams are doing exactly this. They play towards A, and a lot of teams were playing towards A, and we could see that kind of play a factor where then you were starting to set up your defense to stack it more towards the right side here. I love that they're doing this on the round that I bring it up, because it is fantastic. They can move the bomb over towards A. They think that the bomb likely will probably drop towards B, but we can see Stunner. He's looking to make this aggressive play through the middle of the map here with his teammate.
This is such an awesome play out of Northern Iowa as well. They have the players in their favor as well. Stunner gets a little bit of a hop, able to put the hit markers down on the side as well. That was such great timing for the rotation to come in, and this bomb making its way over now towards from A over to that B bomb site. And during that as well, the kills are going to go in their favor. Now 4v2 for the side of Northern Iowa. It's not looking great for SIUE, but once again, Plasmid is going to be one of those 2 players alive, and he's going to be with that AR over in the crates as well, unfortunately. The trade is going to come in, though. He is going to be down, and it's all onto Bert. You have players flanking him on his right, on his left. Not much is going to be able to be done from that, but such an awesome play from them. You mentioned it in the beginning, that fake towards A and the push over towards B. Really, that's a great highlight for just kind of the late adaption in the maps like this. You know, so many pushes over towards B, like you said. They expect it to come in one way, the push comes in from the other, and really Northern Iowa just played that round fantastic.
And overall, it forces the Cougars to then spread themselves really thin when you don't know what real bomb site they're actually attacking. So you can just look for those challenges together and find those picks, at the very least find those trades. But this is a very fast, aggressive push over towards B. Plasmid is right up in the face of Dorno, as he is just not ready for that gunfight. Both of these members trying to get this top bridge control. There's a member there that's also going to fall. Cages finds him. The nade actually from Cages, as it was not communicated on where he threw that. Despite that team kill, it's still a 3v2 advantage here for SIUE.
And Bert's going to be able to find that second player as well. So now Jimbot's going to be the last player alive in a 1v3 for him. It might be a doable situation. He's going to get the headshot onto 1. He'll start pushing into bathrooms, but only 24 seconds left. It's going to be very difficult. He's able to get one more as well.
Gotta go.
Pushing through. Can't find the player hiding right there, and that's a difficult position to be in. You know, you wait so long. You get the 1 kill. Very, very nice shots out of him. But, you know, that player hiding here, he knows that you're going to be coming through those bathrooms. He's going to see the door open. You're not going to see him either. So, very well played. Very well played for the side of SIUE that round.
That was a big responding round for the simple reason that we saw them go up by 2, but Northern Iowa got themselves 2 right back to back. And we're going to take a look at the scoreboard here. 10 kills for Plasma. This man carrying the momentum over, but Stunner right behind him at 9. He's also the player to watch out for here, as he's been putting in a good amount of work here and clutching up when he needs to. But off the start here, going in towards our round number 8. We're already 15 seconds in towards this round. No kills have actually dropped. This is probably the only round I haven't seen a kill drop at this point in time here, but Plasmid gonna get naded, gonna have to back away and just play a little bit defensive here for a moment.
Yeah, the slow play from Northern Iowa. This is smart from them as well, because like you said, you don't usually see the kills wait so long to come in, and this is going to throw them off a bit as well. Look at on your minimap, 3 arrows were over towards the side of A. You mentioned about them being spread thin last round as well. That speaks even more so this round. That gave so much room for Northern Iowa to be able to come in and get that bomb down and force a rotation in from SIUE, but now on the retake, Matt's going to be able to find 1, turning it into a 4v3 now. Matt's now able to find 2. Dorno with the response, though. 2v3, he's trying to find the third CPK. He's not gonna be able to finish that kill. He has to drop back. Drop back and reload as well, and he finds one player. Fortunately, not ready to take that kill either. So SIUE in a big round and a big response. They're on match point.
And if you got to watch that back over there, that was so unfortunate there for Northern Iowa. Plasmid should never be able to pop out on the bomb and get the kill and then run away with his life. If he gets the kill and you trade it, it's absolutely fine. But I believe it was Mello that puts himself in a spot where he can't see that player run back due to the boulder, the rock being there, preventing him from getting vision on that player. So you have to continue to hold that generator while your member is planting the bomb. Once he gets the bomb down, then you can back up and play a different position. But that's a bit of a misplay, and that will cost them the actual round itself here. So 5-3 is going to be the score line, and this is going to be obviously a crucial one, because if Northern Iowa do not take every round from here on out, we are going to have ourselves a tied series.
Yeah, they played that last round almost like they were playing a little bit of an Arclive Peak Search and Destroy. Unfortunately, that's not the map that we are on right now, and the rushes tend to work out a little bit more in this map, as we can see. Cages and Alberts are able to find two early on, and the bomb is going down as well. So a quick 3v5 for Northern Iowa. It's going to be so difficult and so important now for them to take that retake as well. 36 seconds left. They're going to have to start pushing. They're going to have to go. One kill is not going to be able to be found. Stunners. That might be it. That might be it from the round. Vine's able to find one, but once again, time is clicking down. And Stunners in pipes. That could have been the kill. That 100% could have been the kill that turned that game around for them into their favor, but unfortunately, not able to snap. That flinch might have gotten to you a little bit too much. The shots go right above that player's head. But great plays from SIUE. We talked about before the game started. They're 3-1 on Gunrunner S&D, and if there was any map that they were going to take, it was going to be this one.
It was a Gunrunner. You got it. It was very well played from this squad here. Plasmid just continues to show us his dominance, and this is the man that has just a phenomenal stat line through every single game mode here, and he has a 1.7 search and destroy game mode. He shows us why he has a 1.7, because he gets a 2.0 here in this Gunrunner search and destroy, and that puts us at 1-1 in the series count. This is a reminder, you know, a match that I feel like the Cougars are definitely the underdogs coming into. They are 4-7. The record says it all for as far as why they're the underdogs. They are not in playoff contention, not in the spot where they're going to advance without picking up a few more wins here. And starting with this one is that start you need to have. You have to show us that you could take down some of these top tier teams. I wouldn't say that Northern Iowa is that top tier team per se here in the Midwest Division, but they are up there. You know, they are ranked currently 7th. They have 8-4. They have a 2.0 win-loss ratio. They're definitely one of those teams that has it in them to be able to be a top team, and they're just around that middle of the pack. So if you're going to make it into playoffs, you have to show us that you can take down these middle of the pack teams, these teams that do have these 2.0 records, and they're on track to show us that they can take down Northern Iowa as we get ready to jump in towards map number 3.
Yeah, once again, talking about Northern Iowa from the standings point as well. Being towards the middle of the pack, it's going to be so important for them to be picking up all the wins that they can as well, because they've got a couple of great teams around them. They got St. Clair around them. They've got Illinois Blue around them as well. So you have a lot of teams that are going to be able to start possibly pushing you out of the running for playoffs. And when you have a team like SIUE, not to count them out in any way, of course, especially after that search and destroy, these are the games that you have to win. These are the games that you have to win to cement yourself for that playoff position.
It is. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now tied 1-1 here between both of our teams for our last series of the night. We're going to get ready to throw it to a short break so that we can get the host switched over and get in towards our map number 3 here on Domination. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, he really did it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as here we are for our map number 3 for our best of 5 series, last series of the night here, of course, between Northern Iowa and SIUE Esports. If you're just getting an opportunity to actually tune in, well, map number 1 was won there from Northern Iowa, but map number 2 picked up there from SIUE on one of the stronger game modes here. As we're seeing Vines, he's making the fast movement right into the vent area, but he's responded with a nice kill here. So this is going to be a little bit of early control over towards this boiler area, at least for SIUE for the time being. But you can see those purple arrows. They're winning some of these gunfights, and they're pushing right in towards this B flag.
Yeah, the push was good for Vines, and that opened so much area for him to get his team in to capture that B flag. Now, Got 2 ticks spawning on the board, and they're in a good position now for Jimbot, especially to hold down this kill, find one, not able to find the other though. That player will get cleaned up, and it's going to be a quick dead for the side of SIUE. Stunner on the turn as well, is able to find another one. He's just dancing around over on this A flag, trying to find anyone coming out of crates. But on the other side as well, you take a look at your kill feed on the other side of the map. All of those players for SIUE going down as well.
Thunder, one of the 2 members that has a nice KD here, with about 1.3, alongside Dorno, who has about a 1.3. But you can see the scoreboard right off the bat here. 4-0 start here for Jimbot, as he's been off to a great start. But KD looks to try and make this push over towards his B flag. It's going to be a successful cap, but responded with immediately as Jimbot answers with 2. Now puts himself on a 6 spree, and this is going to be an early 10-point lead stacked up here for Northern Iowa.
And this is not what you want to see from SIUE, especially coming out of such a hot win in that search to destroy. The kill feed once again lighting up all purple, and you really need your players in a respawn game mode like this to be able to go off. You have your teammates like Plasmid who've been going off all game, but you need the rest of your team to go off as well. Jimbot finally gets cut down. That's going to take a little bit of the air off, it seems like, for the side of SIUE, but unfortunately, they answer back as well on the B side as well.
Vines holding the corner. He's waiting for the push to come through, because that's all the side of Northern Iowa have to do. They're not the one that have to force place, but they're still going to win 4 gunfights. Stunner finds a 3-piece in the middle of the map here. This man, 9-2. He put on a clinic in map number 1 with a submachine gun gunplay, and he's looking to do it here again. He's waiting for one of these members to actually make the rotation back towards the flag to make sure it's being in their favor with a defensive hold, but he looks to make the pinch around B. It's not going to be successful. He maybe arguably could have made that play towards the C flag to go for the neutralize, but there's so many white members here looking to see if they can find these kills. There it is. That will be 4 down. Burt finds 2 for himself, and that's going to be Stunner, the last one alive coming off of that reset. It's just going to have to wait for his team members before they can look for this retake. But this is a nice push that comes through here for the Cougars, and they're going to have to hold this so they can start to close this lead.
You could even possibly call that a misplay on for the side of Vines, because honestly, he gets in behind them. They weren't even looking. He gets those kills. That push was almost completely different, but that opened so much to be able to get them to be able to come in and take control right back from them. Plasmid now over on dancing around the middle side of the minecarts, able to find one, slides in, tries to find another. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to though. Jimbot cuts him down, and you can see now the players are going to start to come in. Jimbot just starting to hold things down, waiting for the rest of his team to come in. With the smartest idea he can have right now, because the good thing is that you do have that spawn, Northern Iowa, over in on the warehouse, but it's Baseball Matt able to cut the players down, and now you can see your kill feed starting to go a little bit on the opposite side now, Visions.
Yeah, but look at this. Both home flags being held here for Northern Iowa, and this B flag is going to be the only flag held, of course, for SIUE, and they're going to have to try and retreat and look for a home flag, which means that they might have to get pressure, as that's going to be some help there with that kill from Elberts. And Matt's going to now stay alive. He's on a 3 spree here. Had some shaky shots in that search and destroy on this very exact map here. But he's looking to try and see if he can hold on towards this minecrate area. Look for these kills constantly, one by one. He's staying alive. And this is what the most important factor is, because now SIUE have got themselves 2 flags. But as I say that, the member pounces over towards C. It will be a 1 gunfight for him. So it's going to be now a cap here. And we're just seeing the flip-flop across the map back and forth from the home flags. Northern Iowa is still able to kind of hold this, and they're still racking up the points.
Yeah, especially in a position like this, that might be the best thing that you can do going into the end of this first round now of domination. Getting the, you know, it's so difficult to say sometimes whether or not the right play is to run in and get that home flag, because it can be such a flip-floppy situation. But Northern Iowa, they put enough pressure on that flag to just be a little bit of a nuisance and not let SIUE able to get the two ticks in for those points and be able to score the points that they need to. And while it's close, Northern Iowa able to edge out this domination, 86-77. Awesome stuff out of them.
Great stuff out of them. They were able to close the gap a little bit here for the side of the Cougars, but the initial start was fantastic. They were finding the kills. They were having some of their submachine gun players find these early sprees, which net them all of the control around these close quarter areas here. As the scoreboard going to break for us, unfortunately, but we'll see it, and that will be a couple 10 bombs, 12 bomb here for Jimbot, Dorno, and this is just great performance, but they're going to have to continue to show us this dominance, as it is a pretty tight game. It's by no means out of control here for SIUE to come back in, and they're actually looking to make the flip here across it. They're going to flood all their members towards C, and they're just going to try and see if they can get this C flag. Vines is watching over his teammate, and now they're looking to tell that those same home flags like they did in that second half there of that very first side.
That is such an incredible play by them as well. They run through, completely bypass B. B is held firmly for SIUE for right now, and that's like we mentioned, puts so much pressure on SIUE to be able to run back and get that home flag for them as well. Plasmid is able to find 2 over on the B flag, just cutting down anyone in his path. He's been such a dominant force over the past 2 maps. Luckily, though, for the side of Northern Iowa, he is going to be cut down. And now this is the chance for SIU to start to build a little bit of a lead. You see, they have that B and C hold now. If you're able to find one, but once again, not in this position, being such a nuisance for the side of Northern Iowa. They can't run through, and he is going to be killed from underneath the minecart, though. Nice shots out of cages.
Here we go. Plasmid is watching the push through this member on C, but they actually flood 3 members over towards the C flag. Northern Iowa, relentless for constantly pushing for these home flag holds, and that's a big 2-piece from Stunner, who's now going to get them a bit of control. So they're going to hold on to A and C. They're doing a great job of somehow holding on towards this. This player number 1 is defending A. They are getting the A spawn, but this player number 2, Mello, he is stopping these players from actually getting a hold of this flag. And SIUE have translated their pressure over towards B flag perfectly this side on the map, but they can't seem to actually defend a hold flag and keep it. Mello is getting himself on a bit of a tear and a bit of a spree. He's going to cut down the first member that touches the flag. There it is. Looks for the second. He knows one's close, but that will be 4 down here once again for SIUE, and this is where things start to get scary because we got 3 minutes left on the clock. It's a 10-point differential, but a 3 cap is just about to come through. We see the neutralize on B, but they don't secure it.
The A to C hold is such a difficult thing to accomplish. If you're a team that has a couple teammates, you know, like SIUE, that, you know, you have a couple negative KDs on the board, you have a couple players that, you know, maybe can jump in, maybe, you know, be able to get the kills every now and then. But right now, so many players for Northern Iowa on the board are just, it's the slaying power out of them that are able to make everything work. You saw the players like Mello, like Vines, on both sides of the map. They're just playing for kills. They're playing for kills. As long as they're getting those kills, they're able to hold those flags down and get those important picks. So we can see once again the C flags start to go neutral. Mello is going to be able to be cut down though, so the kills starting to go over to the side. Again, actually for Northern Iowa, Stunner though goes on such a tear, but Albert, luckily for him, is going to be able to shut him down on the minecarts.
And this unorthodox play style here from Northern Iowa is just playing into their favor so well, because the side of SIUE wants to keep flooding their resources over towards this B flag, because this is the important flag to try and hold. They haven't been finding the big overextension plays towards the opposing home flag here around A from the side of Northern Iowa, so they're constantly looking for B. But these players, they keep getting on top of the C flag. They keep neutralizing it. They keep drawing these players back. Now, at the moment, that hasn't netted you a massive lead here, as it's still a 7-point differential. This point, an 8-point differential, but we're going to see those members flood back in towards his B flag here again as Bert ends up finding himself 3. A minute 20 on the clock. B and C going to be held, but Vines yet again overextends. This time he's got a member to beat.
He's unable to find that kill, and that's gonna be a very good thing for the side of SIUE, because now 143 to 139, they're gonna be able to hopefully keep this lead down and start to mount a little bit of a comeback. And see all those players making sure their C flag is gonna stay in their position, but that is one player there. Luckily, is gonna be cut down. That was Mello. He's not able to get that neutral in for the C flag that time. Now we can players on Northern Iowa starting to go over to the B flag, but there is actually a player now on the other side, goes into A, gets that neutral, and he has to be cut down by Mello. So kills starting to go over to the side of SIUE. Dorno and Mello though able to find 2 and B now is going to go in the favor of Northern Iowa. 150 now to 153 points
Yeah, this is so close. Look at this, 152 to 153. There's 20 seconds on the clock. Stunner has now found 2. He will find 3.
Oh,
5 are
no.
down. SIUE, they held on to B for so long. It looks so good, but in the last few seconds, it's going to flip over unless they can get on top of B and win these gunfights. It looks like it will be Northern Iowa that will hold on as Stunner goes on a 5 spree. He will not let anybody touch this B flag, and the flip-flop of the home flags constantly will result in the B flag in the end going to Northern Iowa, and they will close out our domination by 3 points.
That was one of the weirdest dominations I think I've ever seen. I'm confused as to how it is actually that Northern Iowa was able to get through that so much. They were able to every single time be such a nuisance. The B flag was held for so long for the side of SIUE, but every single time they're able to run through, like you said, get those 2 caps. And now taking a look at the scoreboard, you can see actually quite a couple players for the side
defense. Look at
that's
Plasmin's defense right there. He doesn't put up those crazy numbers that, we've seen him do, and he does have, I believe, about a 1.7 KD, but Spyro, this man has 14 defense. I don't think I've ever seen over double-digit defense in a domination game here. Just so well done from him, and his team does step up a bit in the slaying department, except for a select few members, which is exactly what you needed, and it just takes a few of those gunfights to swing your way a little bit differently in those last 30 seconds for you to close out that map there if you are the Cougars, but they can't get it done. They're just going to fall short in those last 10-15 seconds. They're a big clutch factor there from Northern Iowa that were able to play this kind of unorthodox style of holding both home flags and managing to make it work.
Yeah, like you said, it's so unorthodox. It's not I'm not even sure we've seen it in the CDL so far this year. So somehow Northern Iowa is going to be able to pull that off. And like I mentioned it during the game, I think a lot of that was just the raw slaying power of so many different players on that team. You had Vines going off, you had Mello going off, so many different players at any point in time were able to run through over to that C flag and, pick up 1 kill, pick up 2 kills, so something like that. Things that SIUE just other than Plasmid seemed that they weren't able to do on the other side of the map. It seemed like one or two times on the A flag, they were able to, pick up 1 kill, start to get the neutral, but Northern Iowa able to turn it around just as fast.
They hold on, they get it done. They put themselves up 2-1 in this series as we get ready to jump over towards our hard point here. And we're going to take a look at the maps here, I believe, one more time before we get in towards our game here, just to give you guys a highlight. If you're just managing to tune into the CCL, well, welcome, because we are in for a very exciting series for our very last one here on the night. The first one, of course, went 250 to 205, was pretty close for the most part, but those rotations holding strong there for the Panthers. And then we went to the Gunrunner Search and Destroy. They upset their opponents here in what is such a dominating team in this game mode, but the Cougars can't hold on to that one. And then, of course, that last game that we just saw there, 162 to 159, the closest one yet here between both of these squads, and that will result in the Panthers now up 2-1 as we get ready to jump in towards Azir Cave. And well, we've talked about it so many times, Spyro, but we go in towards a map like Azir Cave, it relies so much on your AR pressure. And when you have people that are able to just lock down these power positions like Plasmid, it makes it so easy for the subs to get into the favorable position, start getting up close and personal, winning these gunfights. And this is what it's going to come down to on Azir Cave.
And that's a great start out of them as well. You can see 3 dead quick for the side of Northern Iowa, and they're actually going to be able to get in. That's SIUE getting first touch over on that hill. Starting off on the middle hill, of course, moving to the neutral, start to come in. Control, though, for that second hardpoint currently is going to still be in favor of Northern Iowa. So SIUE is going to be starting from an uphill battle into this game, and no one's actually in on that hard point right now. They're electing to, you can see those points on your mini map over on top of it, just electing to run all the way through and get those kills. Mello, what happened?
I think Stent's laughing there because Mello, I'm pretty sure he jumped off the bridge there, and well, he decided that Zero Cave, which is not the map for him. He's having a bad time apparently, so he's like, screw it, I'm ending it. And 16 and 24 here for us, as it is still going to be maintained control in the back here right now for SIUE as they were able to push through. And well, this play now that Mello has unfortunately now actually ended up dying could have costed them the spawns going in towards our second rotation. This is a hill that if you can get control of, and if you can get your assault rifles in a position where they are set up on these head glitches, it makes it very easy for you to then collect so much time. So Matt's going to drop some of these nades As we'll see Alberts find himself one. They're stopping the push right now for Northern Iowa. Again, so hard to push through here. It's just so easy to trade out these kills when you're not pushing in together. Plasmid now has the cut on all these members pushing through this yellow area as he picks up 2 very easily. So now he swiftly pushes forward again, looking for 3. He's going to be stunned up. The pre-fire will not be good, but the time is all being collected right now here for the Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars doing such exceptional work. You mentioned the subs in the beginning of the game right before we hopped into this, and this is definitely the hard point, this P2 position that your subs can go absolutely massive on and possibly even give your ARs a little bit of a break depending on the position that they're in, and they're doing such an incredible job from that. We can see, though, on your mini-map, all of those purples arrows are going to be set up for this next hard point. You can see Dorno here just trying to cut the point off. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do so. And SIUE are starting to run in. Control is going to be held for them currently, but Matt able to jump in, find that player still on hill, take him down. The retake, though, not going to go in SIUE's favor. Stunner is going to be the player on this point, jumping out, trying to find someone else. Unfortunately, is going to be cut down. But Control, though, is still going to be over the side of Northern Iowa with spawns out for SIUE.
30 seconds left on this hill. Right now in control there for a second for SIUE. Still have a player here looking for the pistol kill. Dorno now has to back away, kind of wait to play this out to see if they push forward. Shots are not going to be good as that member of Plasmid up top. He's watching that left cut for any members that might push through. But rotation over towards Cave West. This is what's very important. This rotation is going to be very crucial here for the side of Northern Iowa as they're now trailing here almost about 50 points heading in towards P4. This has been a very nice start for SIUE, a team that does not find a lot of success here in Hardpoint, but currently finding it up against this team, and they're going to be in control at least at the very start. As we see Stunner just playing through the middle, we find Sue, and this is just him being a nuisance. He's being the thorn in the side right now, Spyro. He's looking for these kills, these players that are trying to push through different angles so that they can pinch kill at separate positions, and this is just such good control right now. They're winning all their initial gunfights. Vines is now on a 2 spree, 8-6 for him. Can he find 3? He does. Can't snap on 4, but it doesn't matter because this is going to pretty much bring us here neck in neck with 25 seconds left on the hill.
And we've mentioned all throughout the series how much of a nuisance those players from Northern Iowa can be with the SMGs for the side of SIUE, and it looks like every single time they're able to get them a little just flustered enough to almost cut off a lane completely so that the points can start to come in for Northern Iowa on this Cave West hardpoint. But now scrap time is going to be in their favor, but we have a player now for them over here. That's going to be Stunner. Once again, a thorn in their side, able to cut down SIUE. Unfortunately, he is going to fall as well, but he puts himself in a decent position to at least keep them from the hard point for just a second longer, and Vines is able to cut down 2. So 3 are going to be dead really quick for the side of SIUE, but once again, these purple arrows starting to push in while the spawns still are in for SIUE. The kill is starting to go in their favor. Doesn't look like Northern Iowa are going to be able to push through, though.
Yeah, but look at Burt back here. This is the positioning you want, because when you play this back useless area, you can catch any of these members that are trying to find these players cutting off. Now, he has been called out due to him picking up a kill a little bit earlier, but all the time going over towards the side of the Cougars right now. They have been uncontested on this P5 hill, and well, Northern Iowa now realizing, well, we can't really push this anymore. We're just going to back up, get ready to actually get in towards our next hill for us, but the spawns are going to be in favor of SIUE going in towards that P2 hill. And remember, you always have to be thinking a hill or 2 ahead about what spawns you're going to be having. Right now they have that, and we have Plasmid who's locking down, making sure no one is pushing through. He's 20-8. He's on a 3 spree. He's putting in the work. He's doing exactly what you want your assault rifle player doing on the map here, and that's what's netted them such a very comfortable lead at this point.
And they're doing so well at doing that, right? You have your SMGs in Albert, you have your SMGs in, you know, Jimbot and stuff like that, being able to jump in and, like we said, for so much throughout this match, be such a nuisance for the rest of their players, and not force them, have them be able to be forced forward, just trying to hold those points down. And now we can see Alberts is actually in the hill, starting to rack up a little bit more points. He's going to get cut down though. But that's just a couple more points in the bag of SIUE, who once again, like you mentioned, are still going to have control for that P2 hardpoint. And it looks like there's going to be a player in the back that was holding Northern Iowa back and pushing forward. He will fall. But now, though, the push is going to come into the side of Northern Iowa, but it's Plasmid over on this entrance to the hill, and he has been so dominant in these hardpoint matches, or respawn matches, I should say, that he's going to be one of the ones that are going to keep them from pushing in, and he's doing just that.
absolutely insane. I thought if we went to a map 4, the hard point would be closed out here from Northern Iowa, but they were showing us a lot of weaknesses on this Azure Cave map here. They're unable to find the breaks, and Dorlo is just finding kill after kill finally, as they're going to show a little bit of sign of life here. 174 to 147. 30 seconds left and remaining on our P2 hill, and it looks like SIUE might go for one more hit, trying to pick up the scrap time. There is 20 seconds to actually collect for themselves, but all of the members around slaying perfectly. Jimbot wins a very big kill, finds the defense here, will pick up the majority of the time. This is going to put Northern Iowa here in the lead. It would have, but they're going to actually contest it for another moment. We see those purple arrows in position around the soccer field, and now the whole side of SIUE are actually out of position. They go for the late hit on towards the P2 hill. It's going to cost them the early rotation and set up here for the soccer field. In Northern Iowa, they're looking to take the lead.
It's all falling apart. It is all falling apart for the side of SIUE. We mentioned this the last game as well. So many of these players on Northern Iowa just have the chance to come out of the woodwork and just pop off at any given point in time. And it looks like halfway through this hardpoint match, they're starting to find just that. We've seen Jimbot get a couple kills and vines running around the map like he owns it, but now it looks like SIUE for the retake. Plasman's going to be able to find 2, Burt with 1 more. There, all you can see once again, the AR is just holding this position, being able to cut down the players for the SMGs to be able to get in. Plasma doing such an incredible job just holding those players back, though he will be taken off of that position, but this is a good thing for the side of SIUE. Northern Iowa, though they took a very slight lead, this could have gotten very out of hand very, very fast, and SIUE did a great job to kind of keep it modest for the time being.
Player number 1, Plasman, he finds the rotation kill on towards Mello. No one actually rotates very early for this hill, which is a little bit surprising because this is a hill that if you get set up with your ARs, you still can collect a good amount of time. But finally, the hill's going to be touched for a quick moment there for Northern Iowa as they're trying to pour in. However, it's going to be white in the feed. The majority of it is going to give them some priority. Mello in a very important power position on this truck. They'll take one off of the hill, but it's going to be very weak. Doesn't want to challenge just yet. Needs to wait for his team. And here comes the reinforcements. This is going to be some big gunfights, the AR players. These are the pivotal players that make the difference on this Cape West hill. When they're in control, when they're slaying, it just makes it so easy for the subs to jump on and collect time. Northern Iowa, they are currently going to be grabbing this. If they can get the majority of this time, this would be massive. That's a big win. Plasman jumps up and challenges, but can't win his one-on-one. So we move across the map, but the white arrows, they're the ones in position. So Northern Iowa are going to have to find the break. They're going to have to slowly but surely dissect and try and find these players that are set up in positions that are so difficult to try and remove. And this is going to make or break the game.
Once again, such a fantastic hold for the side of SIUE. And once again, real quick, can we just highlight, Plasmid has 34 kills.
Yeah.
Plasmid has 34 and 17, ending this second rotation of hardcore. And he is once again doing so much in the game for his team to be able to get through and get these points. That rotation, though, so clean for SIUE. Matt's going to be able to find 2. Burt with 4th now. So many kills now going in favor of SIUE. Matt's going to be able to find 2, being so dominant on this hill. 235 to 226 now. They might actually be able to win off this, but they need every single second on this hill. This is huge. Matt's now going to fall. That's going to open this lane up. You can see now if the players for Northern Iowa are going to be able to come in, the player's going to be cut down 248 now to 226. And they're going to be able to pull it out. SIUE going absolutely huge in this Azir Cave hardpoint.
Unbelievable, as this was not what I was expecting. See a play of the game. Stunner here with some nice fast movement, cleans up 3, almost turns and snaps on Matt there for 4. 37 kills from Plasmid, and he's 37-18. He doesn't have any hill time, but you don't need hill time when Cages has got, he's got 2 minutes and 50 seconds in the hill. He's got 4 defense to his name. He's soaking up the time, saying, listen, my air players are, again, wiping you guys out. I do not have to worry about these gunfights here. He gets in very few interactions, and you look at the opposite scoreboard, and there's no one that's putting up those same amount of numbers. You see some 20 bombs, but no one's putting up 37. No one's even in the 30s or close to it. So this is really the difference maker. That's the impact going in towards that map here. But we got to start talking about this map number 5 here for us, Spyro, because this is a very scary one. You highlighted it before we went live, and you talked about how good this team here for Northern Iowa is at Arklov Peak. Tell me about it. Let me know going in towards this map 5 what your thoughts are.
Arklov Peak, Northern Iowa currently 8-0 in in the league for that. 8-0. They have not dropped Arklov Peak this entire league, this entire season, and S&D was one of the only games before that hard point that SIUE were able to take off of them. So this is going to be a decent match. This is the game mode that before we went live and during the match as well, we were talking about. This is the game mode that SIUE can come in and be able to pull something out, and throughout the entire match as well. They've been able to pull out a lot of stuff that we didn't expect. I was expecting this to be a 3-0, and they came out of the woodwork, and I'm hoping that they have a lot more in store for us because, like I said, 8-0, that's going to be a very difficult egg to break for the side of SIUE.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pull the rabbit out of the hat here for us in this very last game. It has been so exciting to watch these teams go back and forth throughout this entire series, but it all comes down to this. The past four maps don't mean anything anymore. It just matters what you do in the search and destroy an Arklov Peak. And well, we're gonna find out exactly how that happens right after the break. So we're gonna throw it away, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Visions, of course, joined with Spyro as we have been casting the first four maps here for us. And we are now into the one that matters most. It is going to be a search and destroy an Arklov Peak. You highlighted right before we went to the break that Northern Iowa, they have got this map on lock. They have got it figured out. They're 8-0. They are undefeated up towards this point. So this is true test coming in here for the side of the Cougars, seeing if they're going to be able to have what it takes to take down these juggernauts on this map.
Yeah. On the other side, though, the Cougars, they have, I believe that's a 6-5 record for S&D. So they've done pretty well for themselves as well. Of course, not the record from Northern Iowa. We mentioned that before. 8-0 in the Arklov Peak search and destroy. So it's gonna be an uphill battle for the side of the Cougars, and they're gonna need every single round, and they're gonna have to make it count. Just highlighting a couple of the KDs for them. Plasmid, once again, in the SND, a 1.7 KD for the side of SIUE. And a couple of the other players, that's going to be Bert and I believe it's Alberts, actually, with just above 1.4 or 1.0 KDs as well. So these are your players that you're going to have to look out for to go big and hopefully play the map to their favor as well, because this Northern Iowa team, you really can't give them an inch.
You can't give them an inch, and if you do start to give over a couple of these rounds, it's very likely that they can run away with it. Now, I don't believe I personally have seen them play Arklov Peak Search and Destroy, but with an 8-0 track record, I can assume that they play it pretty well, obviously, if they have not lost on it. So I'm very curious to see how they execute on bomb site to bomb site, if they just have one bomb site that they're favorited towards, that they just work every single time, or if they're able to play to both, because we are starting to see the adaptation towards playing to the other bomb site here be in the house. When you get control of it and you bait and switch with your teammates and you grab those initial kills for the people that are trying to defend it, it's very easy to then switch things around and put the team that is on defense then on the offense, as they have to go for the retake. So very difficult to sometimes get in this building. But we also see people traditionally play towards that A bomb site still, where the sniper plays are a major factor. And well, that's something I will also be looking for heading in towards our map number 5. Who's going to be pulling out the sniper and who's going to have the hot flicks?
Yeah, in my notes personally, when I was talking about SND, I kind of had the idea in my mind that SIUE could take any SND if it wasn't Arklov Peak, and unfortunately, this is going to be the one that they're going to find themselves on. But sometimes when I think about Arklov Peak, I like to almost, because of its size, you almost kind of have to think about it as two different maps, because both bomb sites are played so differently. I almost feel like that adaptation over to the B bomb site might even favor the side of SIUE in a way, to be able to, play the maps a little bit faster and play maybe even a little bit weirder, maybe in a couple different ways that the Panthers might not be used to just yet, because we've talked about like this timing change from 2 minutes to 1:30. It's only been in effect for about a week or two now at this point. So couple of the things might, everything might have to just fall into place for them.
Yeah, you mentioned the map change or sorry, the round for as far as the counter time change, and that has been in effect in so many different situations where we've seen teams not been able to get the bomb down fast enough. They don't make the push over towards the bomb site, and then they just get taken down one by one. They push too slow for the retakes, and yeah, you get put in a lot of situations where you just can't make those same rotations that you could have. This is something we've been highlighting. This is something that the CDL highlighted at the Atlanta event. So very much going to be watching for this to see if if they're going to make these distinctive pushes towards a bomb site and then full on commit for it, or if they're going to make those rotations. Because if you make them, you got to sprint there. You got to go, and you got to go quick. So we'll be watching for that here as we get ready to jump in towards that match. Now, I think before we do, as these teams are just getting ready to set up, we'll take a look at the map count here one more time just to show you guys everything that has happened. And well, it has been one hell of a ride. The very first map you can see it, we ended up seeing a Ramaza. Spiral, I don't get to cast too much Ramaza, so I had a very fun time, our very first map, but that was closed out there, 250 to 205 there from the Panthers. And then we went over towards the Search and Destroy. You highlighted that this team for the side of the Cougars here, not the strongest here in some of these game modes, but Search and Destroy, one that they do have. They closed that one up 6 to 3, but put themselves at a record of 7-5. Going to be crucial going into our map number 5. And then the Gunrunner domination, 162 to 159. That could have easily swung the way of the Cougars. They could have closed that one out, and we maybe not even have went towards a map number 5. But it is time. We are here. Arklov Peak. Search and Destroy, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this. This is for all the marbles. Now it's about who's going to clutch up.
Who is going to clutch up indeed, and we have everything riding online for SIUE. We've been talking about it for weeks, and we've been talking about it a lot tonight as well. Playoffs on the horizon. This is one of those games where you really got to play perfectly to start things off with. Unfortunately, the nade is going to go in, but the good trade from the side of Plasmid, being able to take Vines down over on that A bomb site where it looks like the bomb is sitting over with the likes of Jimbot.
The first blood traded out here. So like you mentioned, 4v4, 47 seconds now to work with as Jimbot's got a sub. This is not the ideal gun you have on this head glitch. Usually it's actually switched. Dorno would usually be on that head glitch, and then we would have the submachine gun player working up through the trenches. But Matt has now found a pick on towards Stunner. That's going to make this push a little bit more difficult here. Plasmid's holding this back trench area. Torno, I believe, must have caught a glimpse of him because he is watching it. He must have gotten some kind of a call out or just saw his gun as he's just pre-aiming this, waiting. There's no way he crouches out like this. That was a very interesting play from Dorno. I have to question that one. Now it's all left to Jimbot, who's forced to put the bomb down in a 1v3 situation. This is not the ideal spot you want to be in. There is the kill, and that's a very nice first round that comes through here for SIUE.
You mentioned it. Possibly a little bit of unnecessary confidence, one could say, from the side of Dorno. Like I said, I don't know if he saw his gun for a second or what, but Plasmid was the one, like you said in the beginning, on that sniper, and he was able to pick up 2 kills from that as well. So over on this A bomb site, that was the player that we have seen been absolutely tearing faces all 4 maps before this as well, and he was definitely the player to have some pretty big impacts on that first round.
Watching for impacts now for our second round here as SIUE are going to find themselves on the offense. They're going to make the same attack to the same bomb site that we just saw there from Northern Iowa, maybe looking to execute a little bit faster, as you can see exactly what we talked about, the time change playing a factor. But yeah, sniper in the hands here, looking for that first pick, waiting for that member to come up over this hill. That is a very pivotal spot here on this Arklov Peak, especially on defense. We were able to just cut down so many members, making the rotation here through the side of that house, through Broken, and even towards the trench. But no one's really giving Plasmid a pick at the moment. They're all just playing their life and waiting for SIUE to make the first move.
I thought for a split second there might have been 2 snipers over on the side of SIUE, but I must have been mistaken because I haven't seen the second one just yet. Moving forward, though, Stunner picks up 1. Matt, they'll find the second, might find the third. The jump comes in with a little bit of a weird encounter there, though. Luckily, Torno with the pistol able to take him out, and that is going to be bombed down, and that is such an important kill that if you're Matt, that's the one that you have to make, and he was just not able to finish that one out, Visions. And there it is. There's the second sniper over on the side of Albert.
And you got to wonder if there was maybe some miscommunication in that round, because you said 2 snipers coming out there for us. That's maybe not completely out of the realm of possibilities of being able to make that work, but it's very uncommon to see 2 snipers when, you know, your 2 players are both trying to do the exact same thing, find picks for you. But when you get put into spots where you're in those last couple of lives, you know, it's very difficult for you to then make the play in the 1v3s or the 2v4s in those situations like that. So it doesn't pay off for them in that round here, and that's a big response for Northern Iowa to tie things up here 1-1. And we'll be going back onto the offense here with Northern Iowa as they're looking to continue to make this push over towards A.
Yeah, it seemed more than anything a little bit of an uncomfortable round But for the side of SIUE, a lot of the push is probably not in their favor, but hopefully this round they're going to be able to turn things around a little bit more. You can see Stunner popping that dead silence. He's going to sprint all the way up here, trying to find her out of position, but gets caught sprinting, caught with his pants down, and he's going to be the first blood now. Dorno trying to find that second player with the sniper. I'm not going to be able to find anyone. Bomb, though, is going to be not pushed up past that 50-yard line just yet. Playing this very patiently, trying to not give them any position to find any more picks. Now SIUE up 2 players now to Northern Iowa's 3.
Sniper in hands. Watching for this. Dorno has found a sniper pick. There is another one for Plasmid. He's now dealt with 2 players here with the sniper. And with
Mellow.
2v4 left, you gotta get yourself over towards the bomb. The bomb carrier is still way in the back there, back useless, and we're gonna see the flank here from Mello. So he does find 2. This is big for him, but can they get the bomb down? That's the question. You see that member has to plan over towards this A bomb site. Bert's gonna find Vines. The bomb is now down, and Mello can no longer do anything to win out this round here for his team. So Mello makes a nice push, but again, the clock playing a factor in just being able to stop the team from getting into position to drop the bomb in time, and it's going to cost them yet another offensive round.
That once again, I think might have been a little bit more of a miscommunication on the side of Northern Iowa as well. You said it, Mello had such a fantastic flank, a fantastic sprint, but that bomb so far down. In the positions that those other players were, I don't think it was even possible for him to be able to get that down without the help. With that help being able to cut down that cross. But looking at the scoreboards right now, though, a couple players on either side being able to put up big numbers. Once again, we have Plasmid here on that sniper, that HDR. Seeing if he can't get a quick nade and be able to jump back, trying to find a pick, possibly off of that lane. Inside of Northern Iowa, though, so spread out to account for possibly any situation. But for the time being, though, a little bit of a commitment over here towards this A bomb site visions.
Yeah, Plasmid was good with a couple picks last round, but on this defense, Northern Iowa, they don't expose themselves. They don't get over aggressive, look for these challenges that are not necessary. They wait for the team to make the push. And now we've already expired 45 seconds here in our round number 4, and this is finally going to be a first blood from Plasmid. This opens up now a second kill for Matt to find 1 nice snap from Cages, and now everything is falling apart in a matter of seconds here for Northern Iowa. The bomb's going to be planted. This is how you're supposed to retake a bomb site. This is how you make the push, but Jimbot not going to let things go over easily, as he's now found 1 and is going to make this a 2v4.
And things have to turn around quick for the side of Northern Iowa. Bomb down, 35 seconds left, a post-plant situation. You can see Mello starting to watch that cross, trying to see if he can't catch a player out. Might be waiting for his player, his mate team, Jimbot, to find someone. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to, though. Bert's going to take him out. Now it's going to be Jimbot on a 1v4. 17 seconds left. Tries to pat the scoreboard a little bit. Not going to be able to. SIUE goes up 2 rounds here on Arklov Peak, and I don't think this is what any of us were expecting to start this game off.
Definitely not what I was expecting, Spyro. This was a team that has come in with a flawless track record on this map, but here we are, 2-round lead, halfway to that 6-point mark here for SIU Esports. They are keeping some great consistency up round after round. Can they continue to do this? We're going to see the scoreboard there. 6 kills for Matt here, the one that's been struggling a bit in the KD department throughout a lot of the series thus far and towards the CCL season, but having a fantastic game in this very important match number 5. Dorno is going to be the one that responds with the sniper picks that have been coming here from Plasmid time and time again. But a minute left on the clock. We see Northern Iowa struggle to get in towards the bomb site fast enough, and with no first blood just yet, we're on track to maybe have that happen here again.
Both these teams also playing this map so slow to start things off of. It's one of those things where, you know, when you're down 2 rounds like Northern Iowa are, I almost want to see them start to get weird and start to, you know, start pushing that bomb over towards that B bomb site. Go a little bit faster, but I don't know if it's just, you know, a comfort thing for their team or not, to be able to play things a little bit slower. But SIUE. Plasmid now picking up another kill, and it will be traded over to the side of Matt. But, you know, you got to start playing something a little bit different now. The kills are going in your favor. 2v3 now, but you got to push that bomb up. This is the issue they had the round before. There's going to be one player on that bomb, hopefully going to be able to pick him off before he gets it down. 15 seconds now, though. Jim's going to be able to jump out. Bomb's going to be down. This is big. Yep, the bomb is going to be down.
Yeah, they don't even need it.
in.
Northern Iowa. This is the offensive round we needed to see from the squad. They end up taking all the members out before they even have to worry about getting the bomb down in the last few seconds. So this is very well done from them. You saw a couple of the players there from the Cougars here for Northern Illinois got a little bit overeager. They started looking just for some information. They pushed up too far and they weren't able to hold on to those power positions they had gained for themselves throughout that round number 4. So 3-2, 1 round lead still in favor of SIUE. Both of these teams have not made one hit over towards the B bomb site. You have to wonder if in the heads of Northern Iowa, if this is the round they change things up. We see player number 4 maybe looking for a fast flank here through the middle of the map as he's playing around the circle area, but we're going to see the same bomb site here attacked once again.
Yeah, that player, you highlighted number 4 on the map. That's going to be Stunner. He popped dead silence. Looked like he was trying to flank around, but Alberts is going to be the player that's going to be able to cut him down. But now, actually, you have a second player over on the side of Mello going to go for another very, very big flank as well. Not sure if he saw that one player out, though. He is going to be able to find one. That's going to be Plasmid on the sniper. So now you're going to have the players from SIUE trying to turn around, trying to see where this player is. You can see great stuff from him. He's going to drop back to make things weird. Dorno, though, pushes up possibly a little bit too far to try and get some kills. He's not going to be able. He's going to fall there, though. Now 28 seconds left. Bomb site pretty much open. Matt is going to be able to get this bomb down as well. Now a 2v4 for the side of Northern Iowa. Things are not looking good.
So he does find one member on towards the bomb site. Burt is there for the trade. Mello comes in and looks through the middle, is now taking down Alberts and Canes. Like you said, 1v1, 30 seconds on the clock. Mello looking to clutch up and tie up the round count at 3-3, where Burt needs to go big. The fight is there. Burt does not read it correctly. Mello is able to clutch up, pop the dead silence, made sure that there was going to be no footsteps heard, and a big crucial clutch up comes through from Mello and his teammates to tie things up at 3-3.
Mello was without a doubt the biggest player for Northern Iowa in that round. What I said in the beginning, he played it a little bit weird. He went for the flank, he ran back, he played his life in the middle for a little bit. He's able to get those last 2 kills, and that was everything that Northern Iowa needed out of that round to get it done. And now they're tied up 3-3, and this is where things might get scary for the side of SIUE. Like we said before, 8-0 is this Northern Iowa squad, and it seems like they're starting to see why they have that count as well.
Mello 8-5. You can see your scoreboard. Mello and Dorno, the only ones positive at the moment. Jimbot 4-4 is at least even with a 1.0. So there's going to need to be more players here from Northern Iowa to step it up if they're going to continue to have this success. Dorno and Vines and Stunner all making the push to the right side of the map. Plasmid has already been able to find a favorable snipe. That's going to give them at least a man advantage here with 1 minute left on the clock. But this site around A has been left open. There's a couple members that are in the building itself. Dorno has already been able to grab some massive control here. Can catch anyone that's looking to make that rotation. But Alberts now finds Jimbot here. And this is a 3v5 with 45 seconds on the clock.
And this is what we were talking about before a little bit. We wanted to see them try something different, hit towards this B bomb side, and unfortunately, things are not going their favor this round. Bomb is going to be down. It looks like is that right on the window of that B site as well? So that's gonna be very difficult from them. Dorno, though, is able to find the one kill. He sprints back around, finds another kill as well. He's gonna come right in, but he's probably gonna get met from the gun of Albert. He's gonna find him from behind. And he's running in, gets the kill with the pistol. Not gonna be able to finish that out, though. So now,
not down though. This is so massive.
Down. 8 seconds left.
Mello has to try and get himself in it, but you can see it. He has the bomb, but this is played perfectly for Matt. Matt just gotta stay alive. He's in the corner. Oh, he slips away. Unbelievable. It looked like for a second he might have taken it, but you gotta sprint there. You have to run at him. The big play from Matt comes through, takes that member down, finds him off the bomb, runs up top, and manages to play his life. Mello just doesn't have enough time to plant the bomb. Map goes big here in our round number 7 for Spyro, and this is getting more and more intense.
That was huge. Matt waits even a fraction of a second longer, and that's a completely different sided game. That's a completely different sided round, and they played that absolutely perfect. It looked like, I think that was, what was that player that Mello got 3 kills in the back, might have gotten a little bit too excited, a little bit too hyped, and I mean, hey, rightfully so. You pick up that many kills alone on a bomb site, God bless you. I understand it, but unfortunately, not able to turn that around. It looks like the first kill as well is going to be coming in from Burt over the side of SIUE.
Panther Esports looking a bit shaky on the map that they have not received a loss on yet. This is a big kill that can come through right there. Cage is now finding a massive one. This is going to be a 3v5 that Northern Iowa have to fight back from. Overextension comes through, and that will at least be one from Stunner. 3v4. 40 seconds. Alberts finds one more onto Mello. That's one of the big highlight players we've talked about here for Northern Iowa, and now 2 members got to get it done.
Stunner hit a little bit of an unfortunate nade in mid that might have been able to put a little bit more pressure onto SIUE, but luckily he runs through the door, able to pick one off in a post-plant situation though. 20 seconds left. He's not able to do anything now. Jimbot with the MP5 slides into sight, not able to get anything done. And that's match point for SIUE on, once again, a map that the Panthers have no losses on yet this season, Visions.
I am just in disbelief. I mean, to the credit of SIUE, this is likely their strongest game mode. This is the only one that they, have an actual positive win-loss ratio in. And that is now 7-5 after taking the very first search and destroy their own gunrunner in this series. But this could be our last round, potentially. We're going to see an offensive push coming out here for Northern Iowa. They are 8-0 on this map, ladies and gentlemen. 8-0, but they could be receiving their very first loss here from SIUE.
I think we can mention it a couple times, that 8-0 scoreline. I mean, and we've been saying it a lot, but it's just one of the things that's making this so difficult to believe. And now you can see them playing so far back. It looks like they almost might be a little bit too scared and a little bit too worried to try and push up and get this bomb planted, which the way the SIUE's been playing, I mean, understandably, but now we have Dorno pushing forward, see if he can't find 1 or 2 free kills on this A site.
Seconds. You can see the panic there. There is the first blood onto Dorno and Northern Iowa. They have to get the bomb down. They've been struggling getting control of a bomb site in time to actually get a favorable plant. They're looking to make this fast rotation, but I don't know about this. You have to move quickly. They do have Stunner in a position where he's taken down Matt, but these players have to sprint. The bomb has to get here, and there's only 20 seconds left. Are they going to be able to read this in time? Plasmid is close enough to try and slide by, but Stunner is there. He's now found 2. Vines has also found Burt, and now it's all up to 2, but Elbridge is up top. Is he going to be able to take the cover off the bomb? He's not in a position to actually find him, but he's now implanted. He snaps on him. It's going to be a 2v3. The response from Stunner is he's now found so many members in this round number 9, and it's all up to Cages here, but he can't get it done, and Northern Iowa will at least see one more round.
There's so much in that round that I don't want to call luck, but so many risky plays. Dorno runs into sight in the beginning, gets shut down. That rotation, like you said, 20 seconds left. That goes any sort of a different way. That's a completely different round. Things go completely not in your favor. And they are so lucky that it went the way they did. Once again, taking a look at your scoreboard on the side of SIUE, Matt, 11-4 in this game, going absolutely huge. On the other side, though, Mello has been a force to be reckoned with, 10-6 as well. But Northern Iowa playing from behind once again. See if they can make anything happen.
Sorry to the SIUE fans, but I want to see a round number 11. I want to see Northern Iowa take this one, get us to a round number 11, map number 5. Just thinking about that right now is just putting an absolute smile on my face. But either way, this has been one hell of a series. It's been one hell of a map. Number 5, 45 seconds left on the clock for the side of SIUE to be able to make a push, but so much patience is coming in. Both of these teams know what's on the line. And Matt's going to make the first initial push here. Dead Silence pop, can't find the snap, and Mello will answer with first blood on towards him. Bomb is now down, only 30 seconds to work with. This is very possible. We might just see around number 11.
I really think that that's going to be it, unless this player on your screen, Cage, is going to go from behind. Plasma is able to pick up one. He sneaks in from behind, finds a player off. He finds one, might be able to find another. Catches this player out. He finds that player as well. Cages. Now one player left for the side of Northern Iowa. That's going to be Jimbot. He's going to be able to take him down, though, with that MP5. He's going to be flanked from behind a post-plant situation, 1v3. Jimbot has been so huge this entire match. And this is without a doubt a situation that he has to go the hugest on. See, these players, though, so far back for this MP5 to make anything work, which is scary.
There it is. That is gonna do it. First loss on Arklov Peak. Search and Destroy comes in a map number 5, the decider on who takes the series. And that will be the Cougars, Northern Illinois, that get it done here for us in the map 5. Give them their first loss, and Spiral, take a look at that chart here. 11 kills come through from Matt. He steps it up. That's the member that is such a highlight for me, for the simple reason that he was struggling. He looked shaky in that Gunrunner search and destroy. We saw it there where he was having those shaky shots, but he goes big in this one. He's also the bomb planner here for the squad, gets 3 plants down for his team, and he is just going to be that clutch factor along with a lot of his other teammates. But what a series we got. And I still am in disbelief that this team here that has been ranked at number 11 takes down the 7th team that's been 8-4. Northern Iowa, from here on out, they don't have that many tough matches ahead of them. They only have Liberty Red. They've pretty much played all of those tough teams like Concord Gray, Illinois Orange, all of these teams here. And now when you're struggling against a team that is in 11th place, that is not looking good for holding on to your playoff spot.
No, you are not. And they really are kind of riding that line between having to worry about other teams and still having to worry about themselves. And after this, that's something that you really got to be looking at. They're gonna have to take a look at this VOD afterwards and go, okay, where did we go wrong? What did we go wrong? Or even, to the credit of SIUE, there were so many rounds there that they really honestly just kind of played perfectly. And, we talked about that 8-0 scoreline, now 8-1 scoreline on Arklov Peak Search and Destroy a lot, but SIUE, we're 6-5. So definitely not to discredit them now in any way, shape, or form, but they came out of the woodwork and they surprised us, and they showed us that they definitely might be a contender going into the rest of the season if they can pull the rest of their games off.
They were 6-5. Well, they're now 8-5 in the Search and Destroy game mode. They look to be a team that looks to be pretty strong. And while if they can continue to figure things out in these respawns, they are on track to certainly find themselves maybe some future wins here and still fight for the playoff spot. So they're going to very much keep their chances alive, as they will be 5-7 overall here through our CCL season for the Midwest. So very exciting things. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I know we certainly did. It was a hell of a banger all the way to a very last map here. And just the whole storyline of not losing an Arklov Peak and then falling short is just one hell of a way to come out and make a statement here for the side of the Cougars. So props to them for getting it done here, winning 3-2. Again, thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that follow button in the top right-hand corner of the screen so you can stay up to date for any actual streams we'll be going live with in the future. Down below, you'll see the Twitter, you'll see the Discord. Make sure you guys join that for announcements that the CCL will be dropping. Of course, my name is Visions, joined with Spyro and Stents doing all the observing in the background. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, but we'll see you guys next week for week 8 of the CCL.